welcome to Explore English Churches, and today we are at St Mary's Church in the village of Buckden, and we're going to have a wander round this most magnificent church. And here we are at St Mary's Church in the village of Buckden, and behind the church there is actually a castle, and it was the palace in actual fact of the Bishop of Lincoln. And it stands just behind this church, so I am told it's actually open today, so hopefully with a bit of luck I'll be able to film that, and I'll either put it at the beginning of the video or at the back. It is a wonderful church, that I do know, and needless to say there would have been an old Saxon church on this site long before, but it is absolutely wonderful. Look at this, people. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to give you a look around first, see where we are, and I'll show you the palace as it was. People call it a palace, some people call it a church, a castle, sorry. And it's just behind here. And there it is. I hope you can see that. If I pan up a little bit, you'll be able to see a little bit more of it. And that goes all the way round. I'm also told behind this wall is what they call the Magnificent Garden, and if with a bit of luck we may be able to have a look in there as well today. Here is the tower entrance to the church, and I'll just pan round it. Buckden is a lovely little village. It really is very nice, and I'm also told that they have the village phaeton today, which if we get a chance to take a wander down and have a look at that. And apparently it's the first time that they've been able to put a phaeton in the village for over 5 years. But there are some very interesting features in this church. The first of which, as we go in, you will see this fantastic ceiling. It is truly astounding. I've got to be careful. You know me, I'm always falling over. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely glorious? And this door is truly something to behold. Look at that. It's fantastic. The size of this keyhole. Look, I'd love to see the key for that, wouldn't you? Look at the size of it. It's massive. Look at that. Totally superb. As I say, there was a church on this site, Saxon church, and this church, although noted back to the... let's go in. As mentioned in the Domesday Book of 1066, I believe, when it was put together. Ooh, that's me struggling with that big door. So let's take you in, and the first thing that strikes you when you come into this church is actually the wonderful stonework. Whoops, I'm having problems with the gimbal today, so if you hear a little bit of buzzing, it's because the gimbal's playing up. But here's a view of the church. It's absolutely beautiful, and I do know that there is a fabulous, fabulous monument in here, which I will be taking and showing you. I'm just popping this down on the stand for the moment, okay, but we are going to have a wander round. What you see of the structure of the church here today, actually, it was rebuilt in around about 1435 by Bishop Grey and Alnwick of Lincoln. Only the pews and the organ would be unfamiliar to those today. Obviously the pews have been changed, but the actual structure of the church has not changed since around 1440. Can you believe that? It is really, really beautiful church. I know it's a beautiful church. And I want you to have a good look around and just feel the ambience of this church. Because it is, I don't know, it's very warm in here, strangely enough. And that's probably because most of the windows aren't stained and they're clear. And it's a very warm day out there today, thank goodness. So there's many, many items I want to show you. So you'll have, oops, that's me falling down steps. You'll have to bear with me and we will take a wander round and see what we find. These walls, as you see them, they would have actually been plastered over, and it took many years to actually strip the walls back to this beautiful stonework, and you can't deny it's absolutely fabulous, and I always love to see them when they're like this. Patriots of Buckden. Can't make out what else it says on there actually, but going back to this wonderful stonework, look at it, it's really, really fabulous and gives the church this magnificent feel about it. As you can see, and I'm coming round here to show you these, it's a very, very well used church, and Buckden is a very popular village. We have some wonderful carvings on the roof trusses, and the walls are actually festooned with various monuments. That one there is to Robert Stewart Hurst Whitworth Esquire. And we have some others here on the left and the right. If there is a little buzzing on here, I do apologise. I say I'm having a little bit of problem with the gimbal today. I don't know what the gimbal's decided to do, but we're going to have a little wander round. I wanted to show you the other side of this door. I know many people are very interested in the doors, and I wanted to show you the other side of this. Look at it, it's absolutely phenomenal. I hope that's coming out well on the camera. It really, really is fabulous. I love the doors, I do, when you come across them. And we've got a list of vicars up there. I don't know what we've got. I can't see how far they go back. I can see 1627, 15. Oh, right, okay. The first vicar on there is actually noted to be Henry in 1299. Huh. No, they don't have a date for Henry. It's John the Undle came here in 1299, but Henry was before him in 1217 apparently. Wow, that tells you some of the history of it, doesn't it? Now this, I believe, is the little door. I've got to be careful because the sun's shining. It's the little door that would lead to the room over the top of the porch. And if you can see the wear, there would have been a step there. If you can see the wear on that, and these are actually, this is actually original. Yes, this little handle here was actually crafted by a blacksmith some 530 plus years ago. And this little door here, as I say, it gives access to the parvis chamber above the porch. But to think that that little handle there is so many hundreds of years old, incredible, and still in use to this day. Back to the font. The font actually dates back to around about the 15th century, and as you can see, and we've seen this before in many of the churches, these would have been heraldic shields, benefactors' shields, and they've all been removed. I'm guessing that would have probably have happened during the Reformation. That would be my guess. looks quite wonderful, especially with the sun coming through the window there like that. The base of the actual font itself is Victorian, and the font, so I'm told, has been moved about 4 times. Can you believe it? Which is not unusual, not unusual. But again, I want to show you the stonework down this side here. If I come in, maybe you can actually get a better idea of this beautiful, beautiful stonework as I come down. It always, when you see it like this, it gives the church a very warm feeling. Really fantastic. Look at that, the workmanship in there. Here we have a little piscina. Look at that, totally original. Look at that, really superb. I'll pan you round. We haven't made our way up to the altar yet, and as I say, I'm saving this wonderful memorial that I know's in this church. I'm saving it for a little bit later, and because it's extraordinary. I took so many photographs of it when I came here last time. But if I pan up, and maybe I can show you these superb figures. Here we go. You know, it's always difficult for me to do this. And these wonderful stoned figures on the ends, the stop ends of the trusses. Look at those. And there's a date up there. You're not going to, or maybe you can just make that out. I think it's in Latin, and it's 1649. Let that sink in for a moment. 1649. Wow. And we're going to stay with the roof for the moment, because there are some other carvings I want to be able to show you. There are some more shields up here. Whoops, someone's put one up there, and it's dated, it was restored in 1937. Look at that. I know, let me try and get a better light. It doesn't really make much difference. I tried to improve the light on that, but unfortunately, because of the sun coming through the windows, I'm unable to do so. Whoops, very difficult to do this, because as I say, they're so high. But anyway, let's come back down. There we go. Haha. Right, and what we're going to do, we're going to take a wander down towards the altar. I'm not sure if this is going to come out, but I'm going to try and show you the remains of what would have been the stained glass windows there. And these little fragments up there, they date back to 1440. I hope that comes out okay. And you can see. So yes, let's take a wander down towards the altar. Oh, wonderful flowers, aren't they? Are they lily of the valley? If anybody knows, put something down in the description, because I'm not really up with my flowers. You can see these poppy heads here, but they are only reproductions. As you can see, the pews are not the most attractive ones we've seen, but they most certainly aren't the worst either. Now, what I did want to show you was this over here. Just bear with me one moment. The pulpit is referred to as a Puritan pulpit, and it dates back around about 370 plus years, and it would have normally, or they expect that it would have actually have sat up against one of the pillars. but it's quite lovely, isn't it? Quite lovely. Nothing crazy about it. It looks as if it may have been at the stand that it's on. It looks like it may have been changed at some point. But how wonderful is that? I don't believe there's any misericords in this church. No, these pews up here have also the choir pews, and that they've all been changed. As we come up, I think someone's just about to come in the door. Look at this, how wonderful. And here we have another piscina. I hope that's coming out quite well. And we're going to take a look back down the church. Someone's struggling trying to get that door open. I'm sorry, but I do have to laugh. Oops. We have another memorial, very, very large. And that dates back to 1691. It's a bit difficult to read. I can't really read it actually. It's in, I believe that's in Latin. There's a lovely little cabinet here with some sort of fresco-y type work on. I can't get to it because there's a table in the way. There we go. Look at that. How sweet is that? So what we're going to do, we're going to take a wander down. The other interesting thing that you may find is this tiled floor. Rather nice. I like to see these. There we go, we're taking a look back down the church. This small vestry doorway hasn't changed since around about 1270, can you believe? And that leads, as I say, to the vestry. It really is nice. And what we also have, we have some angels here. And here we go again, trying to do the ceiling or the roof. And we have these wonderful angels up there. There we go. 1, 2, 3 on either side. If I come back down, maybe we can get them a little bit better. Plus the cobwebs. Very difficult because I'm really straining here, people. There we go. This is rather sweet. Memorial here. As I say, what we're going to do, we're going to take a wander down. I'm not able to find any information on the organ. We have the rather large lectern here, which is Victorian and dates back to around about 1830, 1803, I think that dates back to. Exceptional condition. As I say, this church is very, very well looked after. Let's take a wander down over here because this is what I wanted to show you. This exceptional sculpture, a memorial here. This, when I saw this really blew me away because the first time I came here, the sun was shining on here, and I don't know, it brought a streak of sunlight across. If I can sort out the photographs, I'll add them to the video. Oops. And it's in memory of the Honourable and Right Reverend George Pelham, Bishop of the Diocese. He was the third son of Thomas, Earl of Chichester, and Anne, daughter of Frederick Muenhart Frankland. But this is really, really wonderful. Let's bring it up. I love the little book there, which I presume is the Bible. If I bring this up and you have a look, it really is exquisite. Now, I have no information on these. I'm going to show you. That looks like another piscina, but it's not, is it? It looks as if it was found somewhere and then put in place there. I don't really get that. I'm completely lost. But yes, and here we have the banner of the church. As you know, I always love to see those. And take a look back down, and we'll take a view down towards the actual tower itself. Now, I was rather fortunate last time I came to be allowed up on the landing there with the bell ringers, which was rather a wonderful experience to sit up there and watch them ringing the bells. But we won't be going up there today. You have to access it from another door from outside. Whoops, and there you go, you can see your church explorer. Hello everyone, hello. And we're coming round. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this tour of St Mary's in Buckden today. And as I say, I'm going to try and get over to the castle and see if I can add some video from the castle and possibly also the village fete, which will be very interesting if I'm able to do it. So stay tuned and see if I can add something to that. Thank you.